experience now there.
And I'm not here tomorrow, so I don't have to deal with it.
And that's what a lot of that is.
You causing trouble?
I am not.
No.
Not till we get
I am
into.
not the-
She was all mad.
For like 5 seconds.
So.
That's all I.
It doesn't take long for her to get over it. That's the good thing about you.
What it does is it eliminates the clarity of ears.
I'm just
They
sorry.
don't
Messenger.
want to quit because
You know, there's a new Beatles song.
That's why I have these guys.
I have 3D.
Yeah.
What if you on the face? And that's the thing. And it's like high copper, high voltage, high steel. Put in a whole new thing. Like if any of our old stars come back, we automatically order another round of those. So if we get the wrong machine, it could be anything that takes pure. Yeah.
Because you're not really doing anything on it, right? You're kind of scanning it on.
Yeah.
There's no with.
Just wonder if being on camera, they wouldn't happen.
Yeah, so.
She just won't
Just
decide
think
that.
about it. And when you talk about stuff, you bring over cat, Harrisburg with the oil. Right. See that system? Yeah. We were out in Hawaii. Just for just a little while. There had to be 2,800 a day.
There should be something certain, there should be quality.
And then we saw
Her position.
I completely agree with you.
all of Virgin, all of Central Street. It's a big risk. So no, we're glad to.
Yeah, he'll probably, like, it's just the back end stuff. I don't think it's
Okay.
getting the scanner. You know, that's not a big deal, whether you decide you want to go with someone or they go with the.
How's the county's finest back there?
Did you buy it?
You're all
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm handing it off at the back.
Winding right down, buddy. Winding down.
Good morning. Good, how are you? Good morning. Good.
Hey, how are you? Good. Could be my last meeting. I'll tell you what. Good to see you. Hey, Keelan.
Good morning. I'm excited. There's a new Beatles song released today.
Oh, I heard about that.
It's less than an
Sounds a lot like life.
Well, and there's,
Oh.
went for, not, it was based on recommendation, guy in the middle.
Really, really bad. Yeah.
We need to make a comment? That?
I'm not sure.
Maya?
I'm covering mine.
Okay.
And now,
I don't see anybody.
maybe Nancy.
Yeah, I just saw her name. Morning, who do we have?
Good morning, it's Nancy Shanks, JPO.
Hey, Nancy, good morning. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I ask you to please rise for the opening prayer and pledge allegiance before we convene the Commissioners' public meeting. Dear gracious and loving God, we meet a new day with many thanks for the blessings you have bestowed. Father, we witnessed the vibrant beauty of your creation, with the exceptional fall we experienced in our valley. As we look towards another month, we pray that you'll meet the needs of each one through the winter months. We ask you to guide our local, state, and nation over the next week as we vote for our leaders. May we respect each other's opinions without retaliation or hate. We thank you that we live in a country where we can have the freedom to choose our leaders. We pray that these leaders will not fall only on their limited knowledge, but seek guidance from you. May they have ears that will listen and address those that are in need. We pray that our leaders will think independently but work together for the common goal. Lastly, may we do as you instruct us to do, for us to pray for our leaders daily. Lord, this week we have a few of our local fire departments that are having their annual banquets. And we thank you for those dedicated men and women that leave their families at night, weekends and holidays, to help their fellow residents. They do have a sense of service and love for the community. They are the best from our communities. They drop everything to help without receiving compensation because their labor is out of love. Bless them for their service. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Will Committee Commissioners public meeting at this time and ask for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. And do we have a public comment on agenda items only at this time?
No, no, no.
Okay. Where's Caitlin?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Presented for your ratification are invoices due through November 8th, 2023 to be paid on November 1st, 2023 for $4,074,749.88. The breakdown is as follows, with 11.14% being funded by the general fund at $454,051.26. 61.84% is being funded through grants and pass-through monies at $2,519,776.57. 26.01% is being funded by RMS at $1,059,861.13. And 1.01% is being funded by escrow at $41,060.92.
Okay, motion?
I'll move to approve. A second.
Any questions or comments?
So, and I'm not sure, Caitlin, whether you know this or not, but the transfer, the big item is $2.5 million, personnel fringe operational cost reimbursement. This is going internally from one?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's important for the public to understand, that we are doing a journal entry booking the cost of those things
Yes.
for the year.
It's basically reimbursement coming back into the county.
Coming back into the general fund?
Yes.
From various
Yes, sir.
places, okay.
Okay. Have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. So carried.
Next I have presented for your ratification is jury panel number 30 to be paid on November 1st, 2023 for $4,124.60. This is funded 100% through the general fund.
A motion?
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is the last jury panel being paid out through general fund. It's going to be coming out of court funds from here on out.
Okay. Okay, so carried, thank you. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
We have bid opening, Nikki?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
We had one bid due for residential floodplain utility elevation engineering. We received one response from Penport Consulting in the amount of $14,300.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Personnel actions.
All right. Commissioners, seeking your approval on the following personnel actions as conditional offers of employment subject to the successful completion of a background check and all other employment conditions as outlined in attachment A. In the Department of Public Safety, Stacy Falk, EMA Manager, full-time replacement, $49,444.20 per year, 75-hour per pay period, transfer date November 12th, 2023. In Human Resources, Melinda Fry, Director of Human Resources, full-time replacement, $90,950 per year, 75-hour pay period, start date November 6th, 2023. In the Pathonetary's office, Karen Allendorfer, Civil Processing Clerk, full-time replacement, $17.64 an hour, 75-hour pay period, start date November 20th, 2023. In Adult Probation, Malik Wortman, Adult Probation Officer 2, full-time replacement, $23.82 an hour, 80 hours per pay period, start date November 20, 2023. And in Facilities Management, Jacob Bowen, Custodial Worker, full-time replacement, $13.55 per hour, 75 hours per pay period, start date November 13, 2023.
Okay, got a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? We have the voluntary Tom Heap here. Would you like to make a comment?
No, sir, I'll have a vote.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Thank you.
All right, moving on to 5.2. Commissioner, seeking your approval on the Homeland Security Federal Fiscal Year 2023 State Homeland Security Grant Program Agreement with Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency and the North Central Task Force in the amount of $509,996. This is a 2023/2024 budget item.
Okay, got a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
All right, Commissioner, seeking your approval on the intergovernmental agreement for intrusion detection services with Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency.
And the amount is? What is on the agenda there, Matt? $509,996.
No, we just did that one. Wrong.
Are you looking for a motion?
I'm on 5.3.
Oh, I apologize.
Did you skip 5.1?
No, we did that one already. You guys ready?
5.1?
We did 5.1.
We didn't do
We didn't do
5.1. That's what surprised me because I
Oh,
thought
I'm
you wanted to
sorry.
do
Yeah.
5.1.
Sorry.
Yes, we're on 5.2.
That's okay.
Never
But
mind.
can we go back and do?
We're gonna do 5.1,
Yeah,
because that's the hot one.
Yeah, we
exactly.
need to get that.
That's why I was surprised. If you
Sorry.
didn't do it, I thought.
Is Riley here or no?
Yeah.
Yes, she's back there.
Okay.
All right, Commissioner, seeking your approval on the adult probation grant need application to the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency in the amount of $161,590. This is also a 2023-2024 budgeted item.
Okay, Riley, like to make a comment?
No.
Okay. This is part of the funding for the adult probation office, so, have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
This is time sensitive, right?
Yes, yes.
We gotta
Thanks,
get it
guys.
there. No problem.
I don't know how I skipped.
They called over yesterday, and I said we have to vote on it first. So thank you for your patience.
Yeah, no problem.
Please thank your staff for all the work they do.
Oh, I signed on the wrong line.
This is the application to get the money.
Yes.
Right. So without the application, we won't be considered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we continue to emphasize how the the state has cut down funding for probation over the years. When it should be at 80%, it's down to about 16, 17%. So that's a major issue with probation departments across the state. And that county has to pick up the funding that the state promised a long time ago.
So we gotta do every bit we can.
Yep. Okay, moving on.
Now to 5.3.
Yes.
All right, Commissioner, seeking your approval on the intergovernmental agreement for intrusion detection services with Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency.
Okay, a motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
All right, so carried.
Commissioner, seeking your approval on the federal fiscal year 2023 Emergency Management Performance Grant Agreement with Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency in the amount of $66,214. This is a 2023-2024 budget item.
Okay, motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
All right. Commissioner, seeking your approval on the following fiscal year 2023-2024 memorandum of understanding with West Branch Drug and Alcohol Abuse Commission. Prevention, case management, or treatment of juvenile probation clients in the amount of $10,000, and these are Act 198 funds. And the assessment and treatment of adult DUI and/or drug offenders in the amount of $40,000. And this deal is Act 198 funds.
As you stated, it comes out of the course, Act 198 funds.
Correct.
Okay, a motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
5.6, Jason, amendment with solid waste disposal agreements.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning, Director.
Good morning.
Commissioners, this is fairly straightforward. This is simply an agreement that allows us, that we're named in the plan to accept waste from Mifflin and Union County. So it's an addendum to their current contract that they already have. So the Department of Environmental Protection requested a few different changes in some verbiage they had in their contract. And as a county that's named in their plan, we just have to approve the addendum. It's not a money issue or anything like that. It's just approval of their plan. If we had made changes in our solid waste plan, the county or the other facilities that are named in it, they have to make those kind of approvals. So it's a clerical situation, that's all.
Okay, motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Aye,
Aye.
so carried. Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
And I'll grab Eric's as well. Commissioner, seeking your approval on the service agreement with Maximus U.S. Services Incorporated in the amount of $24,000. This is a 2023 budget. Funds are available. And this is for Maximus to do the CAP plan, cost allocation plan.
Okay, motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Nancy, 5.8 and 5.9.
Morning,
Good
Nancy.
morning, Commissioners. JPO is seeking your approval for Clear Vision for our 2023-2024 contract. It's a residential facility for delinquent females and provides fast, secure programs. And there was a 3.5% increase. It went from $206.57 to $213.80.
Okay, do we have anybody there?
Right now, no.
Okay. All right, a motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
And then it is 5.9. We're asking for your approval for our contract for 23-24 with Adelphi. They provide a wide range of services for the treatment of delinquent males and females. Services can be but not limited to secure treatment centers, intensive supervision group homes, sex offender group homes, community-based short-term, specialized independent living. And you'll see on the attached pages, there are many programs that they have. and the different increases and per diems associated with each program.
Okay. Do we have anybody there?
Yes, we have 3, 8, 9, 10 kids there right now in different programs.
There's quite a few. And what's the daily cost?
Depends on the program.
Good. Yeah, because there is a variety of programs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
thank you, Commissioners. Have a good
You
day.
too, thank you.
All
Morning,
right,
Leslie.
5.10 through 12, Leslie.
Good morning, Commissioners. Which one are we doing first? 5.10, we're seeking your approval on the adult probation case management software. This is just a renewal in the amount of $10,340. It is a budgeted item.
Okay. Important to keep them up and going. Motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
5.11, Commissioners, seeking your approval on our endpoint detection response software and our virus scan software. This is going to replace our current software. It's actually given us a saving of around $8,000 to switch over to this company. It's going to be in an amount of $59,901.30, and that's for a 3-year agreement.
Okay. Motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
5.12, Commissioners, seeking your approval to purchase video conferencing software. This will actually give us the ability to have court hearings over video, closed caption, in the amount of $14,900, and it is a budgeted item. Basically, this is going to double the amount of license that we have today, as well as give us closed caption, which we don't really have today. It's going to save us around $3,000 when we move over to this software.
We're currently with the Polycom, correct?
Yes.
So will this software be adaptable to the new
Yep.
stuff? Okay.
Yep, we're still gonna have Polycoms, we're gonna incorporate this, and we're actually gonna incorporate this into this meeting, so that the closed caption, we can offset the cost with better closed caption software.
Oh, good. So instead of paying for the closed,
This,
way
it's
we
all
were
gonna be
doing it
included into this
That'd be
package.
nice.
right,
Yeah.
good work,
That'd be great, thank you.
Yeah.
And
good work, Mark.
I know the courts are looking forward to having those systems updated because it's often
Yeah.
difficult to hear and
We actually had a meeting with Jen and Adrian and April yesterday, just to talk about all the new stuff that we're thinking about being able to do, and, yeah, so.
we encourage the courts to continue to use the video conferencing because it cuts down
Oh,
on
yes. Yeah.
travel and it cuts down on safety issues with transporting inmates back and forth. They can do it right from the facilities and it's much more time efficient.
Yeah, no, we're up in our 2024 budget. We have Polycoms being replaced, 24 and 25, I believe. Yeah, so they'll all be updated and replaced. And, yeah,
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mark.
thank you.
Okay, motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
All right, Commissioner comment.
Okay. So I've served for 12 years here, and I made a commitment for the remaining time of my time here to give you a story each week before I'm done. And my first one is for the people running for office today. You know, next Tuesday will be the election. Okay, and so my first story will be about vision and expectations, and I would call it the chicken coop. Okay, when you, as an elected official or as a candidate, you know, you have a vision why you're running. You know, you have to know why you're running. You're not running for a job, okay? You're running to change the things that previous boards have done, or to continue that legacy because you believe in it, right? But what I'm telling you is that stay committed to your core values. You must stay committed. And it's not always easy because you will not, and I'll tell you, I was not a popular commissioner. I made a lot of changes. A lot of changes. So, I remember my first meeting with the department heads probably didn't go too well, okay, and the elected officials. And it was because my first responsibility as a commissioner is to represent the taxpayers, right? To cut spending, to make our community better, to make sure that we can afford what we do. Okay? And I said to them that I'm not your boss. Okay? The department heads are the bosses of the organizations and departments that are in this county, and they, for the most part, do a great job. Okay? The elected officials, or the row officers, as we call them, they have a huge responsibility. Okay? They are their bosses as well. And we just oversee their spending. And hopefully we'll have some influence to what we can do to help them out. So, I said the chicken coop, I got a phone call from a gentleman out in Washington Township. And he said, hey, Commissioner, can you help me out? I said, well, what do I need to do? And remember, I'm a new commissioner. I wasn't like Mark. I never ran it for office before. Couldn't tell you much about our ordinances at the time or anything. And he said, I have a problem. He says, I live out here in Washington Township, and he says, I was denied a permit for a chicken coop. I said, what? You need a permit for a chicken coop? He said, yeah. He says, you know, we have some, you know, setback issues that I just can't comply with. I said, interesting. I said, well, how many chickens do you have? He said, well, I have 20 chickens. 20 chickens? Yeah. He said, they were peeps. I said, well, where are they at now? He says, in my basement. He says, but they're not peeps anymore. He says, my wife is going to kill me. You know? I said, well, why do you have the chickens? You know, is this a chicken farm, you know? He says, no, he says, I want them for eggs. He said, I want these chickens so that the eggs that I can't eat, I'll give them to my neighbors. I said, okay. I said, what's your problem? He says, well, your ordinance. I said, okay. I said, tell me. He says, well, if the setback's 150 feet, I'm 300 feet deep, 400 feet wide. He says, so I don't have the 150 feet. Okay. All right. What other things should I be aware of? You know, how about your neighbors? Are they okay with this? You know, he says, yeah, we get along well. We don't even have fences. Okay, now who was it that told you this? Well, these people here. I said, okay. I said, I'll get back with you. So immediately, I called up 3 people in the planning department. I said, would you please come down to my office? Yes. And I said, I got a call from this gentleman, and he talked to me that no matter what, he can't get a chicken coop out in Washington Township. I said, why? He said, because he doesn't qualify for the setbacks. Really? So what are the setbacks? And he told me. I said, well, what, do you know what's going on with this guy? Well, no. Why should that matter? It's an ordinance. I said, it should matter. Do you know how many chickens he has? Well, no. Do you know where they're at? No. Well, did you ask them any questions? Well, no. What's that have to do with the law? I said, okay. Now, this is a commitment. Sitting at my conference table, and I stood up, and I said, okay, I'm going to walk out of my office, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to come up with a solution for this, gentleman. And if you don't have it, one of you will be fired. Now, these were high ups. I took 2 steps to the door, and one of them already had a solution. You see, it's the bureaucracy that sometimes needs shaking up. And I said, well, that's pretty cool. I said, I'm really happy you have a solution. Is he going to be able to have his chickens? He said, absolutely. I said, all right, you give that guy a call. Now, in hindsight, if I would have fired him, it probably would have been a bad mistake. But I'm sure I would have. So I get a phone call back from this guy. I said, you call the gentleman, you tell him what the solution is. And if you notice on my emails, I always have, at the end, be part of the solution. And that's one of the reasons. Because we are all part of the solution. Okay? And I said, you call him back and you tell him what the solution is. I got a call back from this guy in maybe not even an hour. He said, I don't know who you are, but I will always vote for you. Because I never expected a call back so soon. And a matter of fact, I didn't expect a call back at all. Because it was defined in your ordinance. Now, I was very happy that they found a solution for him. But the gentleman, because the public, give him a lot of credit. He already had a solution. He said, there's no ordinance about me putting in a school bus in my property. I was going to put it in there. And then I'm okay with the ordinance. There's no ordinance for that. Chicken coop there is. But he said, I want to thank you for not only responding so quick, but for showing leadership. And that's my first story that I want you to understand. You're not here for a popularity contest. God only knows. I've had many employees say, I can't wait till you leave. Okay. You're here to do the right things. You're here to commit yourself to the betterment of this county and to change the things that we need changed. Yeah, I'm sure there are. And believe me, not all our decisions are correct. But, you do get some gratification from your constituents, and we get it quite often. I do anyway. I feel like we it's not, we're not criticized every moment. Matter of fact, most people understand we have a tough job. Okay? And so take those accolades and take those compliments with pride. Okay? Stay committed to your values. And I wish you all well. Oh, one last thing, and that has nothing to do with that. The paper today, Senator Yaw was in there quoted on House Bill 170. And that has to do with the state wanting to have setbacks from federal land, state land, for the gas industry. Read that article. Read that bill. And thank God we have Senator Yaw there. I don't always agree with him on many of the things, on the environmental issues and things like that, and the Chesapeake Bay, and we have different ways of getting to the same outcome, hopefully. But this bill would be devastating to our county and all the counties that are producing natural gas. Because they want that setback back to 5,000 feet. And I'm gonna tell you something, in the beginning, of Act 13, we had a meeting over there with every big shot that owns Sunoco, Exxon, you name it, Chesapeake. They were all in that room saying, what are you gonna do as a county to regulate us and draw up ordinances that are acceptable? And that was the number one, okay? That was the number one thing that we did. We said, we're not gonna have setbacks of 2,000 or 1,500 feet from that land. They will infringe. If that bill is passed, they will infringe on the right of your property, your ownership of your property. You own the gas and the mineral rights underneath that. And no state body should regulate or infringe upon the rights of property owners as long as you're not causing harm. One. And they should never infringe on the right of our sovereign municipalities. Right? You're supposed to set up the ordinances to protect your citizens from certain environmental issues or safety. That's our job. We don't want to hurt anybody. Okay? So call his office up, tell him to keep fighting the fight, and call up Joe Hand and Jamie Flick and tell them that you're in support of Senator Yaw and X this bill.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner, do we get a preview of the title or subject for the next story?
It's going to be the Lion's Den. Going to go from the chicken coop to the Lion's Den. That'll be the next week's feature. So stay tuned. Commissioner, what's your title?
Oh, no title right now.
Okay.
I'll reserve future time, I guess.
Okay. All right. This Saturday is the Veterans Parade in Williamsport this year. And we know how important our veterans are. And please take Saturday afternoon to come out and thank them. And be lined along the streets of Williamsport to thank the veterans who will be in the parade. And for their service and honor them. So that's on Saturday at 2 o'clock in Williamsport. We look forward to that. Okay. Public comment. Mr. Stout.
Yes, Larry Stout from Montgomery. This is something I got out of the internet on the opioid settlement payments to PA. First off, I want to congratulate Commissioners Sarah Marabito and also Jack McKernan, who was on the board at that time, to get involved in the class action suit towards the drug companies to get this funding that took years and years to come back to, but apparently now it's reality. According to this, now this is just what came on the internet, but supposedly we got $560,977 in last year with $371K this coming year. And my question is, where did the money go? What's it being used for that is actually, hopefully, addressing the opioid crisis?
So there are very stringent regulations in the settlement agreement about what you can use the money for.
I assume.
Yeah, and it generally it has to do with issues around education or prevention of opioid addiction. So one of the things we're doing with it is we're doing what's called MAT, which is
Medically assisted treatment.
right, medically assisted treatment. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what happens is that when people oftentimes have an addiction and they get incarcerated, is they go into jail and they may, obviously they're not, up until now, they haven't been receiving, even if they're on methadone, or if they're on a program, they cut off all the medications. Now, they do it for two reasons. They do it to get a baseline assessment after 30 days of where the person is. And they also do it because there was no program to provide treatment in jail. What's happened is that some of the courts have been ruling that denial of someone who has an addiction of certain treatments in jail is no different than denying if they had diabetes and you wouldn't give them the insulin they needed. We have tried to get ahead of the curve a little bit so that we're not waiting for someone to do a court order, and on the advice of both the prison and West Branch Drug and Alcohol, they had suggested that it would be helpful. Here is the other problem. People come out of jail with an addiction, and that is the highest propensity of overdosing and dying, because they come out, and if they relapse, they go back to the level of drug use that they had before they went in, before they were incarcerated, and it slams the body and they OD. So when you look statistically, you will see a lot of overdose deaths happening after release from prison. The goal of the medically assisted treatment is done under the auspices of River Valley Health and Dental. I believe we have a contract with them. They come to the prison and they are administering treatments for opioid addiction during the time of incarceration. Not to everyone in the jail, but to the people. For example, if you were on Suboxone, I said methadone, if you were on Suboxone, they're going to continue your Suboxone during the time you're incarcerated. The goal being to continue therapy and to get you out and stabilized and not have this ping pong. For some folks, when you hear this, you might think, well, that seems crazy. Aren't you just continuing the addiction? Well, if you're on something like Suboxone, you're basically being treated for life, right? You're being treated for life. And while we may make a judgment about it, think of it as if you had diabetes. You might be taking insulin for life, right? So the goal is obviously not to get people, and some of that means that we have to rethink the way we think about addiction in terms of a disease, as opposed to us see it as a moral failing of the person. But that's what we've been doing with the funds, and we voted on contracts here to do that. I mean, we voted
Last year, year before?
In this past year.
I think it was in this past year.
This past year.
In the last year, beginning.
Yeah. We have our main person who's doing all the research for us is Shay Madden. She's our designee.
Yeah.
And so she, from West Branch, so she brings us information and ideas and good education. And education is an important part of that.
In conjunction with Chris Ebner over at the
Yeah, Chris Ebner too with the prison. So
I guess in a perfect world, I don't know, but there was at one time a community emphasis on that. The heroin task force became Project Vault Legal, and then for various reasons that died. It's a shame that, I don't know, that we could get back into the ground pounders and volunteers, really.
If you can remember, we had a lot of discussion. We had open meetings. We had people. It was probably had 100 and some people at these meetings. And let me explain. Totally against this. Totally. I felt that the way they framed it was unjust to the counties that were to all Pennsylvania, the entire United States. That they were going to take these billions of dollars and put restrictions on us counties, especially when we knew that there was probably, we spent over $15 million in just the addictions here alone from incarcerations. And then they put it was ridiculous. It absolutely was. And when you looked at how they framed it and what we were allowed to use it on, it really did nothing for us. And I'm sorry, okay. The real commitment is to get them right, and you can't do that in a 30-day process. It just doesn't work. It's a waste of money. It was a waste of money. And we've spent, I mean, you look at our prisons were overcrowded. We went from a budget of $12,000, right, annually on this. And it skyrocketed to like $670,000 that we were paying extra for housing prisoners. The solution wasn't that. The solution was to let the counties determine, you know, with the money that we receive, determine how the best way of helping us. Every one of these that we did, and I'm not saying that these classes in short term, they're not solutions, not for the addict. They're just not. You need long-term solutions that are going to cost you a tremendous amount of money. And that money should have been left to the counties. Commissioner Maravito and I had a lot of discussions because he's a state rep. That you know, we need that power to be able to spend that money that we're receiving in our communities to help them. You know, it was just something that I feel was not right. You know, we should have been able to use it the way we needed it. Our prison was overcrowded. You know, our prison went from 12. You know, what the heck was the budget over there? We needed to build a new prison. You know, our population went up so much that it was costing us an extra $650,000. Well, you saw it in your...
Yeah, it was $675,000 in overcrowding. And that's one of the things that brought on reentry.
And we should, right.
Yeah.
And that was one of the solutions that we came up with when I said, this is not right, we don't want to spend it for this. What can we do to not build a new prison? At that time, it was $45 million. Okay, what can we do not to build a prison? And so Judge Butts, I'll never forget it, says, we'll find a solution. And that's when geo reentry, that's when the community got together and put our minds together to say, okay, what are we going to do? And, you know, we should have been able to use that money for a lot of different reasons that we're receiving in settlement funds, and we couldn't, you know.
Well, just anecdotal, as a first responder, I'm not seeing any reduction in
No, it's
this.
getting worse.
It's really still
Getting
bad.
worse.
Very bad.
And Commissioner Missar is absolutely right. Because often when they give you these monies from the state or the federals, there's so many restrictions tied to it, which is so wrong, because who knows the community better than the community themselves? You know, those leaders are elected by the community, they talk with the community, they know how to spend the monies. And the state says, no, you don't. We know best. And they tell you how to spend it. And that's
Some of those solutions were
horrible, yes.
So on the positive side, we did have Shay Madden be on, she
Yes.
was on the, I believe she was on the statewide
Yes.
committee
Yes.
that discussed the best use. So we had representation, which was unusual because not every, I don't believe every county, maybe every county did get someone, but she certainly, you know, has been doing this for 25 years. I think the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how is it that a major not just one, but multiple major corporations are allowed to basically put a product in the market? And the settlement was because the litigation would have gone on for years and years and years. And rather than have it go on for years and years and years, there was an effort to try to settle it. And part of settling things is that obviously if you tell people that you're responsible for what happened, then they're going to say, well, we want the money. We don't want the money to go to balance a budget. We want it to go into various areas. And that's what we're using it for. We're using it in one of those areas. But I think the bigger question we have to ask ourselves, and some of this goes to what Commissioner Macer was saying before, is that we need to challenge the prevailing dogma of the day. You know, I'm amazed. You can pick up Forbes magazine or Fortune back in the day, and the guy who's on the cover as the corporate whiz, many of them were in jail. Tyco Industries, the guy was in jail. Enron right? You can go on and on. And this isn't to rail against corporate America, because you can find it in nonprofits, right? The problems. The bottom line is that elected officials need to challenge the existing dogma, not just for the sake of challenging it, but to try to truly understand is what's going on really in the best interest of the public, or is it hype that is done, you know? And some of that, and also what are the motives that people have? You know, with the opioid tragedy is something that's going to be with us for a long time.
You know, I want to clarify something. That 12,000 to 650,000 was what we had budgeted for prison overcrowding.
Out of county, yep.
Out of county. And when you take a look at that, I mean, it was terrible what was happening.
You know, so to jump off of what Commissioner Macer was saying, so if I was, you know, if you say to the people who are coming in, what is your vision? Why did you run? Right, as Commissioner Macer said, you didn't run for a job, because quite honestly, it's a 24/7 job. If you want a job, there are it's a wonderful thing to do if you like people and you like learning and you like trying to make changes. And some of challenging the prevailing thought is not going to necessarily make you popular, but if you try to do it in a thoughtful way. You know, when we came in, one of the first things I did when I came in was I asked for the last 10 years of how many people worked in the county, because I wanted to see I had seen that we had budget issues. And what I saw was that there had been an increase in the number of people hired. And again, it isn't because people are bad people, it's because sometimes there's pressures and so they hire. But the hiring had gone so far that we were spending a lot of money, and it was a question whether we needed to. Commissioner Macer, McKernan, and I did a tour, and I would highly advise the new people going in to do this. We did a listening tour where we went around and we spoke to people without department heads there, just the employees. We wanted to hear from employees directly. And I may differ a little bit from Commissioner Macer on this. You are the boss of the county. I mean, you're not the boss in the sense that the boss who's going to, I might disagree with telling someone you're going to fire them.
Can I rephrase that?
Yeah.
Not a boss. You're one of the leaders.
Exactly. How I would describe it. That's a good point. But the point is, you have responsibility, and you have to also try to listen to what people are telling you. And one of the things that we found was that people told us, hey, if I leave, don't replace me, because there's not enough work for me. Now, you might say, okay, well, people were just saying that, but we heard it from 4 or 5 people. And that doesn't mean that people aren't working, but what it said to us was that we needed to really evaluate every position to determine whether we really needed it. Because in an organization, stasis can set in where hiring just goes up. In the private sector, it's different, because you're constantly chasing, if you're accountable to shareholders, you're chasing what the heck happened to my dividend this year. And if it's a privately held company, you're looking at it and you're saying, I make less money this year than I made last year. The public sector can be a little different. So one of the things you want to do is hear from people, and also be sure to listen to them, you know. But in terms of this opioid settlement, I think that the decision we made to use the money for medically assisted treatment is a good one. We're hoping that it'll cut down overdose deaths. And we appreciate you bringing that forward, Mr. Staff.
And Larry, I personally, this is something that, from working next door, I've never been a fan of substituting one drug for another. And that's basically what it is. And that's just my personal views. I understand what the addict's going through. But when you have a court order now that's going to say to us that we have to do it, we might as well get out in front of it and assist the people we can help. personally, I like to see the money go to education. You know, education in the schools for our youth. Stay away from it to start with. You know, I've seen some very close families that are friends of ours lose their daughters and sons because of injuries, and they were taking prescriptions, and then they couldn't get the prescriptions any longer, and ended up getting drugs elsewhere, and you know, they were clean for a period of time, and then, as Commissioner Marabito stated, once you take the same level that you had when you were using in the midst of your addiction, and the body can't take it, and death sets in, which is it's very sad. So we have to educate our kids. You know, it's getting worse out there. You know, I talked to the NEU guys. Drugs are everywhere. The fentanyl's terrible. It's coming across the border. It's in every community across this country, and we can't stick our heads in the sand. I think initially people stuck their heads in the sand when it came to opioids until it started getting really, really bad. And I think people are doing the same thing again now. You know, they just kind of figure, it's not affecting me directly, and it's affecting everybody. It's affecting everybody. I mean, because people steal, and when they go out and steal, that drives prices up in the stores to feed their addictions. It's everywhere. So we have to continue to attack it. I want to thank Shay for her work. And she's very dedicated, her staff over at West Branch. And personally, I like to see the future monies go to education. So thank you.
So you know, Larry,
Yes.
and it's, we have a little, this idea of what new people should do, right? When you come into this job, you're not an expert, right? I mean, I've learned a tremendous amount over the last 8 years. And it's great in terms of trying to get to a better understanding of life. I call it getting to wisdom, right? The experience and the knowledge that people portray. But part of that is listening. So when people who are experts, meaning like someone like Shay or Chris Ebner, been in the prison system 20, 30 years, or Shay, 25 years, you have to listen to them. You need to challenge them to ask questions and so forth, but you need to be able to understand that know what you don't know, right? Isn't that really always the most important thing in life? Knowing what you don't know, right? And I concur. I think that prior, 15 years ago, if you'd spoke to me, I would have said, well, that, why are you continuing the addiction? Why are people on Suboxone? In fact, I think I even said that to you, Tony. I've come to a different understanding about the nature of addiction. And some of that is from interacting with employees, but it's interacting with our constituents and listening to our constituents, people who have kicked addiction, people who are still in addiction, families. So you take all that information and you try to make a decision that's in the best interest of everyone. And then you have to be able to communicate that to the public. That's key, right? Communicating it to the constituent communicating to the employees why they should find it a way to solve the problem. One way is to say you're going to get fired. Another way is to say that, listen, we don't want this constituent to be in this position, right? So I'll tell you what we didn't talk about is talk to kids at the earliest age. If you read any literature, I started talking to my kid about drugs when he was about 3 years old. No kidding. Because, do they understand it? No, but they begin to get a sense. Listen, we talk to kids about stranger danger when they're 3 years old. Why wouldn't we talk to them about, you don't just take things, you know what I'm saying? So we need to build the resiliency in our kids that they have things going on in their life that they don't want to get involved with drugs. I'm not sure the DARE program was real successful, so I'm not sure you can scare them.
We have to be careful of prescription drugs because that can lead to this. I mean, the world just lost Matthew Perry, which was a famous actor, and sad the world lost him. He had a skiing accident, hurt his back in '97 or '98, and got on prescription drugs, and it led to his demise and downfall. And I believe he said he spent $9 million on recovery.
Yeah.
And so you see what happened to his life and what he went through, and the struggles he had. So it can start with a simple pill for an injury, and you have to just be careful that you monitor it, make sure that it doesn't get a hold of you.
I'll tell you what, the one that's sleeping, and some of it is the advertising. There's only 2 countries in the world that allow advertising, New Zealand and the United States. And now, you turn on, since 1998, they've allowed that. And you turn on the television and the answer to any problem is a drug, right? As opposed to, but here's the thing that we should really be, is the gambling. You look at the advertising for gambling, we are gonna have a generation of kids who have gambling addictions. I'm predicting it now. When you see kids who are 11 and 12 years old looking on their phone at this constant barrage of these companies, it makes me furious because it's being done to try to raise revenue. I get that. Illegal gambling. But the massive amount of advertising, we're going to wind up with kids, just like we did with the opioid crisis. So anyway,
We do have monies here and that can be very useful. We have to just make sure that we spend them wisely. So thank you, Larry.
Yeah, I didn't mean to take so much time.
No, thank you, Larry.
It's an important topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else from the public? Yes.
Good morning, Tom Adams, Williamsport. Proverbs 22:28 says, "Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set." And I think that's what we're facing today in our country. The ancient landmarks have been removed from our culture, from our morals. Just going into what Larry brought up with the drugs and stuff, I think when you get these monies from the state or the Fed, you're saying they put these dictates on them, and that shouldn't be dictates, should be parameters. You can understand parameters, you got to use it for this course, but let it up to the the local community commissioners or whatever to decide how it's to be done. And that's where bureaucracy comes in, and that's not representative government, because that's basically our money. I mean, billions of dollars might be our specific money, but it's the money for the country, and it's good for the country, and everything's local. And then getting back with, you brought up about y'all's bill on Bill 170. There's this Dr. William Happer, you can find him on YouTube. This was put up on October 4th of 23. It's carbon dioxide, the gas of life, and it's an excellent oration about how carbon dioxide is not really causing any problems with our temperatures, and he goes into some real depth. And there's a lot of these people who are out there that just know the truth about this stuff. But the reason why I bring that up is because this is the attack on the gas industry, and this is what they want to go after. And it doesn't help us. It's just more people die of exposure to freezing temperatures, cold temperatures, than they do from heat. I mean, that's just known, that's been there, and that's why our population is going up, because we do have some warmer temperatures, but it's not all anthropogenic. And a lot of it's natural. I mean, that's just a couple things. But I did want to bring up, too, with the voting, we just have to learn, no matter what side your viewpoints are, or maybe some things, I know a big thing is abortion, another thing is, I guess, guns. And those are things that people can quarrel about, but I think when you go to vote for people, especially in any election, you want to see what kind of core values they actually have, because that's what's really affecting our country now, from the state and the federals, because their core values a lot of times don't match your own personal core values, and that's what you really want to look at. The reason why we have the inflation is the whole attack on the fossil fuel industry, which isn't beneficial to anyone. That's the real cause of inflation and government spending. But with the voting, if there's issues, some people say, if you see an issue at a voting, when you're inside voting, just politely say something to the judge. I hope people are respectful and, don't cause problems at the polls. We don't want to see that, and hopefully, I think we won't see anything, but, you take the judge of elections and just talk to them privately. You don't have to make a big scene, and also, if there's anything else outstanding, you can leave the polling place and go call voter services, if there's problems. But people, I think, do need to be reminded they can't be taking any photos or any video inside those polling places. But you can outside. If there's a problem outside, that's something different. But I did have a question on the Clear Vision residential treatment. Is that just temporary? Is that a temporary program?
It's one tool in the toolbox.
Yeah. It's a residential program where the juvenile stays there for a period of time. I'm not sure how long.
Yeah.
But the goal is to eventually get the juvenile back in our community.
Yeah.
To bring them back with the knowledge and skills that they can be successful.
Actually, Commissioner, they would be sent there by the court.
Yes.
Right. So the court would say,
Yeah,
hey,
the
you
court-
have to go to a facility described as such, one you can't walk away from or whatever, and that's,
And they're constantly monitored and then
Or
reviewed by the
treatment,
courts before they're brought back to the community,
Yeah.
into their home.
And the Delphi Village, is that something similar? Is that more for families?
No, it's for individuals, but they have many different types of programs there. They're not just a specific program, they have several.
Right.
the one was only female also,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
And typically, we have a number of these organizations that we have services contracts with, just so that we have a place to be able to go because of availability.
Right.
They may be booked up, one place may be booked up.
Right, I think that's what's a good thing, if you gotta have more than one, for sure. But before I forget this, and Tony's gonna be finishing out in his term, Tony is a servant, as I think all you are, you guys do a really good job. There was the day we were at the flag ceremony, and we were walking along, and I have trouble keeping up, and Tony and Scott were walking with me, and because they bring up the rear of the guard, and I had my shoelaces tucked in my shoes. I didn't feel like tying them, and of course, with one foot being a little shorter than the other foot, almost the whole size of the shoelace came out on that. And I was like, oh, I don't feel like bending there and picking it. I said, I'll just hold everyone up. And Tony said, here, now I'll tie it for you. He goes over, put your foot up on the curb, and he ties my shoe for me. I said, all right. So now you had to do something after you're out of office. You know, tie people's shoes and maybe polish them. They can polish your head.
Story.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
You know, it'd be remiss of us not to say something here today about the election, and just as far as county. I'm very impressed with the candidates that are running, and I think they know the enormity of the position. I think they understand the responsibility that you're going to have to the public. You'll learn a lot more, for sure. But it takes courage, especially to run for county office, to be a commissioner. It does, because you can't go hide in the corner. You can't do that. You can't be, when you're the minority party, vote no. You can't do that. There's a special relationship between parties, Republicans and Democrats, as a county commissioner, where the county has 3 commissioners. We try to work in harmony. If you were behind some of the doors, closed doors at times, you'd say, my God, are they going to kill each other? Okay, but we come to a consensus. And for the most part, we vote 3-0. And if we don't, there is a tremendous amount of debate. And you're debating every day. Because you will be in charge of the people of our county. I'm serious. It's probably the most powerful position in the state, except for the governor. I mean that. You can change how your communities run. You can change the outlook. You can help so many people. And you know, so I'm really happy with every candidate that's running. I don't think we can lose, regardless. We have strong leadership, and what I always said, once I got to understand, you know, commissioners come and go, but it's the employees of this county that make it run. They make it run efficiently, and we were proud and we are honored to serve under our people. So you'll do fine.
You know, sometimes, and most of the time we do vote 3-0 if you think about it. Sometimes you need to make a motion even if you don't think it's going to pass because you need to get out there for discussion. And that sometimes happens. And sometimes the issue maybe is not so important that you need to make a motion on it. If it's not, you know, for me, it's always a question, is it an issue of principle? Not if it's so much, you know, like one person thinks we should do economic development over here and someone thinks we should do it over there. Those are differences. It's when there's issues of principle that I think it's important sometimes to make the motion even if it doesn't get a second, so that there's discussion and there's and begin to get the public to think about it.
Commissioner, that's a great point, because we at one time had a commissioner that wanted 3-0 votes, okay? And I think this is one of Scott's strong points, is that it doesn't matter whether it's 3-0, I'm bringing it to the table.
Yep.
We want that public debate, and you know, there's two different ways of looking at that, but I prefer the latter, you know? It's not about.
And you're talking
votes.
years ago, there was someone who.
Yeah.
Where things would only get brought if it was gonna be a 3-0 vote.
Yeah.
It's kinda like,
It's
well,
not
that's
illegal.
crazy, that's,
It's not how to lead. I brought
Yeah.
things to the agenda that people need to know how we feel on each issue. So it's important they know that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything online?
No.
Okay, we completed our agenda, so we'll be adjourned till Thursday, November the 9th at 10 a.m. Thank you. Have a good day and good rest of the week.
What is that?
1 o'clock is for. I'm trying to get planning